Hello webs, hi, this is Fahad from Future Phones, and today I have an Acer laptop. The model number is Acer Aspire 3A314, and the problem it came in was it wasn't charging the battery. It did power on with the battery, it was working fine, but it won't charge the battery. I looked at the charging port, it looked fine. However, there are few signs that I checked, and they were abnormal. So I will discuss with you in detail, and this is something very important about ADID pin and how it can affect your charging circuit. ADID pin is for the adapter identification. So if this pin has wrong value, then it won't charge the laptop. So usually you see this ADID pin in HP and Dell laptops, but this is the first time I saw in the Acer laptop, and it was quite interesting. That's why I thought it's best to share with you guys. So without any further delay, let's check it. Right, we have the board view and schematics available for this motherboard, and it is quite interesting. The problem that I found was amazing actually. So let's check what is happening first with this board. Our charger is connected. Let me take you to my microscope. Yeah, so this is my charger. It is connected, and as you can see, I'm injecting 19 volt and 5 amps through this power supply. Here you can check here, 19 volt and 5 amps. And let's check what is happening at the charging port. I'm in the voltage range at the minute, and I'm just checking. This is my power pin. I'm going to just check it here now, and this is 19 volt showing, and which is okay at the minute. Now next thing, I'm going to check what is happening at the battery pins. So you see there is no voltages at the battery pin. There could be many reasons. Maybe in some circuits, when the board is on, then this power comes to the battery pins. Sometime it is always present, so there could be many variations at the battery pins, but 3.3 LDO should be available. Okay, which is not available, 3.3. so our 3.3 is not available as well. Okay, one more thing we're going to test is we will test it with the battery now connected, and we will see what happens, because this laptop does power on. So this is the best way to check what is the condition when the battery is connected and what happens when we connect the charger. So my battery is connected now. Okay, and I'll check now. So my DC jack is removed now. It's not connected anymore. So I'll check now. 0.7. So 3 volt LDO is not present. Okay, one more thing I could do, because I know that this laptop does power on with battery. So to do that, I know on the keyboard pin number 1, which is here, this is the power button line. So I'm in the diode range at the minute, and my red probe is at the ground, and black probe, I will touch the pin number 1, and I hope that this will power on. So it's not powering on. Okay, that's strange. So this is not powering on. Okay, so our voltages are not reaching to the battery pin, and with battery I have tested that it does not power on. So I will check the path for the power from the charging port. I will check this, and for that I will put multimeter in the DC range, and I'll check that here. You can see, oh sorry, I'm in the voltage range now. So 19 volt is available. Okay, this is the path for the charging port. So this is my 19 volt. So I can see there is a capacitor here, which is ground. So this 19 volt is traveling in this line here. So there is a diode here. So for this side we should have 19 volt and this should be ground, which is okay. Now it comes into this MOSFET, 19 volt. This is the gate power supply. I'll check here. We have a 20. Okay, it came and disappeared. So this 19 volt came and disappeared. Why? Is my charger loose? Quite possible. So that 24 volt disappeared. So something is happening here. So the gate power supply is not present. That's why my 19 volt is not passing from this side, drain side, to source side of this MOSFET. In this state, I'm going to check my charging IC again, which is here, and I will check what is happening at the charging IC, why the gate power supply is not generated. Let's check here. So I know this is the BQ series IC, and pin number 28 usually is the power pin, VIN pin for this IC. So I'm going to check pin number 28. So if this is number 1, so this is the last pin, and I'll go and check. So I have no 28 volt, 18 volt here. So my charger is messing about. Okay, I have 19 volt at the charging pins. Yes. So is it coming to this IC here? Here is pin number 28. Yeah, it's coming. 19 volt is coming here. So I have to keep it connected for some time. Yeah. So 19 volt is coming. Next thing, I'm going to check BQ series IC. If we go in the desktop, I need to check AC detect and AC OK and region pin. Here, I'm just going to flip it, rotate. So this is my charging IC. Just gonna search in the schematics, and there we go. So pin number 28 is the VCC pin, and after that I have pin number 24 is the 6 volt for the LDO power supply, and pin number 6 and 5. 6 is AC detect and pin number 5 is AC OK. So let's check these 3 pins now. So 24, 5 and 6. So pin number 24 is region and pin number 6 is AC detect. So if this is 7, 7 and 7, pin number 24 is pin number 21, 22, 23, 24. This is pin number 24. I'm going to check for LDO power supply at this point. Is my LDO generated? 24. So I don't have LDO power supply here. Okay. Let's get a close up. So we have 18 volts coming to this IC. 7, pin number 24, 7, 14, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we don't have 6 volt of LDO. It's not a good sign. Before region, AC detect is coming into place here. So AC detect is pin number 6. Let's check pin number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. what is happening at the charging port. This is where we should look again carefully. So if you are in the desktop, yes you are. So this is our charging port PJ6. Okay, so we have the ADP ID, adapter ID pin here also, and this adapter ID pin, if you look charging port, this is our positive line at pin number 1. This is positive line, and the top and the bottom lines, they are the ground pins. So ADP ID should be ground. So this ADP ID should be ground, and number 542, they should be ground also. Pin number 5, 4 and 2, they should definitely be ground, but pin number 3 should be ground, but it is giving us 9 volts. So we can check why it is giving us 9 volts and where it is getting connected to. Right, okay. So it's connected to this transistor. Okay, let's check this transistor. Okay, so this is the AC detect line, and we have the ADP ID. Okay, that's interesting. Now if you look at it, VA, what is VA? So VA is generated here instantly. You can see this is the VA pin, and VA pin is also connected to AC detect. So this is VA pin is 19 volt. That's right. Okay, next thing we are going to look is this transistor, and this PQ9 is here. So what this is basically doing, VA is 19 volt. Through this voltage divider, 19 volt is going here, and if we calculate it, 19 volt in the voltage divider calculator, we should have 9 volt coming here. And this is the N channel MOSFET. AC detect is usually 2.4 and or 2.5. Okay, this is interesting. So this AC detect will go into the ground. It will become a ground, and if this happens, our charging IC will not work. And this is the situation. ADP ID in real should be connected to ground. If this pin is connected to ground, ADP ID at the charging port, if this is connected to ground, this VA will not be able to make the voltage divider values here, and the ground will come here, and AC detect will not get the ground from here on pin number 1. So let's say on VA, if 19 volt comes on VA and ADP ID is not connected to ground, if ADP ID is not connected to ground, then VA will be able to make here a voltage divider, and voltage divider will switch this transistor on, and AC detect will go into the ground. And if that is the condition, then our charging IC will not work. In our case, ADP ID is not showing ground, but it is showing the voltage, which is 9 volt, and it is coming from this voltage divider. So ADP ID is not connected to ground. That is why our AC detect is connected to ground, which we have already checked. Okay, let's check the AC detect. Where is the AC detect? Okay. So AC detect is usually, okay, this is the AC detect here. So there is 2 resistors to generate AC detect. So one resistor is here. I'm gonna just search in the schematics. Okay, so it makes sense now. So VA is coming here, 19 volt. Through this 2 resistors, we will get some value between 2.4 and 3.4. Any healthy value will come here. In our case, AC detect is connected to ground, which happened here by this transistor. So PQ9 has connected this AC detect to ground because ADP ID is not connected to ground, and we are receiving 9 volts on the ADP ID, and ADP ID pin is here. You can check it's on the charging port. So in good working condition, ADP ID should be ground, not 9 volt. So that is why when this ADP ID has 9 volt, the 9 volt from the voltage divider is switching this transistor on, and AC detect is going into the ground. So that is the logic behind it. So there is, and they are all here. So let's check the voltage divider resistors. If our theory is right, then we should have 19 volts available at PR245, one pin of PR245. We should have 19 volt available, because on the other side we have a ground. So this 19 volt at PR245 pin number 1 is not making a voltage divider value, which is 2.4, and so this resistor is PR245 and it has 19 volt available here, but it is not coming here because this part of this resistor is the AC detect pin, but this AC detect has gone into the ground, and that is why this voltage divider is not working. So what I can do is, on this charging port, which is here PJ6, if I connect this pin number 3 to ground, if I connect this pin number 3 to ground, and our condition will be true, and the AC detect should be available. So okay, let's say this ADP ID is ground. What happens then? Okay, so we'll go to where this ADP ID is going, and we will search for PR71. If I connect this ADP ID to ground, this VA will not be able to make a voltage divider. So this NPN transistor will not switch on, and this AC detect will not go into the ground, and we should have a value at AC detect, and if this AC detect value comes, then our charging IC will start to work. So for this I will take you to the microscope here. Okay, let's check now. So this is our charging port. You can see we have 19 volts here, and we have a 8.2 to 9 volt, almost 9 volt. This 9 volt is coming because this pin is not connected to ground. If this pin was connected to ground, our charging IC should work. So I will just connect this to ground. Okay, so now this pin is connected to ground. We should not have 9 volt available here now. Okay, let's connect the charger. So this is 19 volt, which is okay, and this pin is connected to ground, so no more value here. That's good. Let's check our AC detect now. Okay. This is our AC detect, so 19 volt was coming here, and this is okay. So we have 2.5 available now, so this should be working condition now. So we have 19 volt coming here, so LDO is coming. Our LDO is also available now. Okay, so we should have AC OK available also. AC OK is available at pin number 5, so that should be available now. So this is the pin for AC OK. We have a 2.9 volt at AC OK. It's a good value. Okay, now next thing we are going to do is we will check with the battery. Now I have connected the battery. Let's try and power it on. Diode range, pin number 1. We have a fan spin. It's working now, and we have a full fan spin, you can see. Next thing we will check our battery pins. So let's check the battery connector. This is my ground pin, connect here, and this is the voltage. You see we have 10.27 volt coming towards the battery. That's fine. Our 3.3 is also available now. So SD and SCL is available, and this is most likely is going to be battery present. So battery present is also working at the minute, and our laptop is powering on. Next thing we will test if it is really charging. We'll give it a close. I'm quite certain that the job is done, because the conditions have changed now. The charging IC has started to work, and again things to learn here again is no matter what the condition is, you should always follow your routine check, which is check all the signals of your charging port and your first two MOSFETs. Your charging section, you need to check properly everything. The pins at the charging IC, which is very important, is AC detect, AC OK, region, VCC, ground. If these pins they give you good value, then you can start to work on the other sections of the board, but you need to start checking these pins first. Okay, so now is the next day, because we could not close this laptop the same day. I have closed it now, and you can see this battery is also charging now, and we have a good healthy voltage at the battery connectors now, and this job is done. This is fixed, you can see. This is also charging. This went up to 18% now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something from this video. Like and subscribe to the channel, and do leave some comments if you have any questions you want to ask, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.